Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital edition. I'm sorry, my mind just went. Okay, so this one is for Monday, May the 16th, 2022. Okay, y'all, let's get right on into this because on a scale of 1 to 10, you know how we do. I'm going to have to go ahead and give this probably I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It was solid. It was solid. There are certain parts that I like better than others. But General Hospital always has so many moving pieces. So forgive me because I'm gonna have to read my notes for this. Let's start off with people that didn't move around, and that is Curtis and Aunt Stella. I know a lot of y'all don't like this storyline with Marshall, but I will say Curtis and Aunt Stella did a really good job today. I thought the acting was really was really good on this. Okay, so Curtis goes home and what am I want to call this girl? Whitney. Curtis goes home and Portia is there, but she's like, I'm about to leave, because I have to meet Trina for lunch and I'm already running late. And she says, are you okay? What are you doing here? He says, we're about to find out. And she said, listen, I can't even deal with all this mysterious talk you saying. I'm like, bye. So Aunt Stella is there. So he begins to question Aunt Stella because she tells him I haven't seen Marshall around lately, and he tells her he's gone again, and she's like, why, Curtis? And so he tells her what he did, and she said, how did you even get that information and know all this about Marshall, about him being not being in the mob and all that? And she said, you know what? Never mind. I don't even want to know or whatever. And so Curtis is just he's like, Aunt Stella, I need information. Like, did you know all this? And she was like, yes. And he becomes upset. He was like, why didn't you tell me this? You know. And Aunt Stella was like, really, it wasn't on Stella's place. Yes, it was a secret. No, she didn't want to keep this secret. I said, Curtis, what you should be asking on Stella about is them divorce papers. But anyway, she said it wasn't my place to tell. She said, Marshall, he decided to leave, and she said, and you boys would always cry and you'd be so hurt. And when you realized how it was affected me and your mom, you stopped asking. So she just let it go. And he said, and then when Curtis came back, Marshall came back around, and Curtis was so receptive to him, and he was wanting a relationship. She didn't know how to say it at that point, and so she didn't tell. And so then, and Curtis just like, oh my God, I can't believe he left his kids and his wife. And then Stella reacted. He said, are you telling, was mom in on this? And she was like, yes. And he was like, oh my God. I said, oh my God, too, Curtis. Cause you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Besides the dead part, like him thinking Marshall was dead, they like this is what I don't understand being mad. I mean, I understand. He feels like Aunt Stella lied to him. He feels betrayed because he could always trust Aunt Stella. But honestly, that was not her secret to tell. And she told him that much. She was like, I wanted to say something and it was killing me not saying something. But your mom and dad, they decided this is how they was going to handle it with y'all, with the kids. And it wasn't my place. I had to respect their decision. So Marcella gets upset and she started crying and she was like, I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm sorry. And so Curtis looks at Stella and you could tell he wanted to be mad. Like he was like, you doing all this crying. I'm not done being mad. I'm not done being mad at you. But he was like, come on, Stella. So he hugged her and all that because he do love her. He's just mad at her right now because he feels like she lied to, I mean, she did lie to him or whatever. But again, Curtis, that is not on Stella's fault. Let's move right along because he says, how am I supposed to, like, what happened to him in the war? Like, why did he decide not to come back? Why did he pretend to be dead? And why is he, if he loved me, why he leaving? And Unstill said that again, that's for Marshall to tell you. That's not my story to tell. And it really is not. If Marshall wants you to know this stuff, Curtis, he will tell you and everything. So Curtis is just like, oh, I already gotta go spot him. I said, oh, you gonna go to New York too? Okay then. So then we see, Lord have mercy. Spencer is at Windermere and Esme, oh, trifling himself, gonna tell him. Come on, it's your off day. I got your day planned. We're gonna go have a picnic, go horseback riding, and do all that kind of stuff. And he was like, I gotta work. It was like, she was like, I know you said you wanted to take a leave, but come on, let's go. And he said, I got to work. And she was like, Spencer, it's your day off. He said, I picked up a shift. Cam said somebody didn't come in, so I picked up a shift or whatever. And she said, can I appreciate your loyalty to, I mean, your hard dedication to the gallery and to Kelly's, but like, come on, spend some time with somebody who loved you. And she grabbed his hands. He took them hands out, slid his hands out, and said, I ain't got time for this. I got to go. So then Spencer leave, and then Esme is sitting there with Nicholas, and here go Nicholas' old dense self talking about Esme. Esme said, I said, oh no, 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 no. The way she looked like, well, got my way. Well, I mean, I can't get Spencer. Let me go on over here and work on Nicholas. Nicholas so dumb. Like, I can't believe this storyline. Why are they acting like this man is an idiot? Nicholas has never been an idiot like this. But anyways, so Esme and Nicholas talk or whatever. And there are times when I'm like, is he under her? But then there are times like when I'm like, he really is this, he really do believe she's this innocent. But anyway, she talks about her family. She talks about how, one lie has caused Spencer not to trust her. And, she's saying everything that correlates with what's going on between Ava and Nick. So he thinking about all that or whatever. And Esme putting her hand over his, like, Nicholas, damn. I mean, sorry, y'all. Dang. What's wrong with you? And I can't even go in it. That's it with them. She just working on Nicholas and he letting himself be worked. I mean, that's pretty much what's going on here. And she just trying to relate to him. And I'm like, are you really falling for this? But moving right along. So Trina has gotten something from the college that's pretty much telling her we're gonna have to look into you, and it's gonna be 10 days for you to, I guess, respond to us, or they're gonna kick her out of college. So she has to prove herself the reason why she shouldn't be kicked out of college. Now she's in Kelly's talking to Ava about this, and so they're doing, they're talking and everything, and she's just like, she's stressed. She is stressed. Now this is what Carly was supposed to do with Jocelyn on Friday, because Trina was like, asking, Ava about her and Nicholas, and she was like, I don't want you and Nicholas to be having problems and all that. And Ava told Trina, listen, it is my job to worry about me and Nicholas, and my job to worry about Esme. All you do is worry about, your what's going on with the college, what's going on with your trial, all that. That's you worry about that. But me, Nicholas, and I are adults, and we both will be adults when we make this decision on, if they're gonna be together or not. She politely, it wasn't rude, it wasn't disrespectful or anything, but she politely was telling Trina, like, you're a teenager, you're a child. I love you. I look at you as a daughter, but this is what's going on between Nicholas and I. That's adult matters that you don't need to be in. That's what I'm like. I'm like, that's the difference between Ava and Carly, just in that part, because they sitting up here having conversations about Nina and Sonny. I'm like, girl. But anyways, moving right along. So Trina's just telling Ava, like, she's stressed, everything that's going on and everything. And Ava is just like, how can I help? And she said, there is no help. I have to prove that I didn't, with the college, she said, and even if I'm found not guilty, the college still could be like, yeah, but we think you did it, or so, something like that. So she just stressed, and Ava said, well, it helps that Joss and Cam stood, they wrote in for her and everything. So then outside, so Ava hear commotion outside, and she like, what's going on? Well, outside, Portia has, walked up because, she was meeting Trina for lunch. And here comes Spencer walking through. And he had the nerve to ask Portia, how is Trina? What he do this for? Because Portia went smooth off on Spencer. She was like, you're just a, Trina, no, you don't get to ask about my daughter. You stay away from my daughter, as a matter of fact, because all this happening to her is because of you and your little girlfriend. And all you did was bring my daughter down. And she defended you. She when no one else believed you, she did. And look at what it's cost her. She doesn't have your little name to get her out of trouble like you did. He was like, I went to prison. She said, oh, please. Don't even tell me about that little prison you went to. Like, now, Spencer, you know you didn't really go to prison. She was like, don't even tell me about that little prison you went to. That wasn't no prison or whatever. And you just got a slap on the wrist. And it does nothing affects you because of your name. Well, Trina doesn't have that. So then Trina come outside. She's like, Mama, what you doing? And Ava tells Spencer, get in here. And Kelly's, get in here. So she and Ava in there with Spencer like, what? You can't talk to them. Leave Trina alone. He was like, Ava, this is Kelly's. You don't have any control over me at Kelly's or whatever. And she said, you gonna leave Trina alone. Like, leave her alone. She's dealing with enough right now. Leave her alone. And so then Portia and Trina outside talking, and Portia was like, are you mad at me? She's like, no, I'm glad you defended me or whatever, Mama, and let's go eat somewhere else or whatever. So Trina goes inside to get her book bag, and I mean, to get the document and her phone and stuff. And Spencer's like, how are you, Trina? And Ava said, what I just Ava said, what I just say? And so Trina tells him, she tells Ava bye, and she tells Spencer something, but she was just like ignoring him. And so she leaves, and Ava said, what is it about Trina that won't let you leave her alone? Ava, you're smart. This boy can't leave Trina alone because he really wants to be with her or whatever. So then we move on from that, and okay, so that's it with them. Okay, yeah, that's it with them. All right, so then we go to, so everyone is there. Oh, Anna and Felicia, child. So Anna and Felicia meet for lunch, and Felicia said, okay, we done talked about me because there ain't no baby stuff going on now. We ain't even talking about it, Mac and I. So let's talk about you. What's going on with you and Valentine? And Anna said, ain't nothing going on with us. And Ava said, Felicia said, I beg to differ because I heard through these Port Charles streets that y'all was all hugged up, lovey-dovey. And Anna said, okay, he was gone for weeks. Then he came back to my house and then he kissed me and then he been gone again. And she said, what? And so then Valentine comes through, but then Anna gets a phone call, so she's like, I gotta go. So when Valentine sits down, Felicia said, you're not finna be ghosting my friend like this. He's not even a ghost. He a zombie. He keep coming back. That's a zombie. She said, you're not about to keep ghosting my friend like this. And he was like, what? She was like, either you like her or you don't. If you like her, you say something. If not, leave her alone. And besides that, if you hurt her, you're gonna have to, he was like, I'm gonna have to deal with you. And she was like, you bingo, you got it. Like, and I'm like, Felicia, if you don't want Anna, leave her alone. Stop going back and forth with her. This be weird in these relationships. But anyways, so Anna come back and she says that they've convicted Jennifer, and they say they have hard evidence and everything that she was the one who stole the Ice Princess, and she's the one who caused the cart crash that killed Luke and everything. And Felicia said, did you tell them that you had your doubts about that? And so this guy Valentine listening, and he was like, doubts about what? Why you had your doubts or whatever? And so Anna was like, oh, her and Felicia gonna go and do something else. They're gonna go and do something. They're getting ready to leave because they want to look into this more. And so now Valentine wants to meet with Anna. And he like, can we finish that bottle tonight? And Felicia said, we drank. But I just said, we drank that. And Anna said, I told you it wouldn't last long. He said, I hope you let it breathe. He did. And then he said, well, what about, if not tonight, what about tomorrow or the next day? And Anna pretty much told him, I'll see you when I see you. Like, you're not going to be playing with my emotions like this. And I said, good, Anna, because he all interested. So I was like, Valentine, do you like Anna or not? Like, what's going on here? Let's move on from that. So then we see that everyone is at the student talent fair and showcase. And so Leo is like, I'm not finna go on if Chase is not here, but luckily Chase did go ahead and come. And so Chase is there and everything, and he helps Leo and makes it all better for him and everything. So we see that. So everyone's getting their seats, and Drew and Sam, Willow and Sonny are talking. And Sonny told Sam, I heard Scout is has a piece, and she was like, "Chill, they won't even let me see what it is." And Drew said, "Oh, you haven't seen? Come on, let's go." So Drew and Sam leave, so it's just Willow and Sonny. Nothing bad is happening here. Sonny just tells Willow, no, Willow told Sonny, "Thank you for the flowers. I did receive them and I appreciate that." He says, "How are you doing?" And she says, "Michael and Wiley are getting me through." And all he told this young lady was, "If you need anything, just let me know." Now, Dante and Michael that came up, and here, Michael, if she needs anything, you'll be the last person to know. And so Willow, Sonny was just like, "I'm not gonna do this." And so Willow was like, "Michael, I was just thanking him for the flowers or whatever. He wasn't doing anything." And so then Dante says, "Are you here to see Avery or whatever?" Because he changing the subject, and Michael just grilling Sonny down or whatever, looking him down or whatever. And Sonny was like, "Yeah, I'm here to see Avery, and then we're gonna have a little dinner, a little lunch afterwards or whatever." He ain't even worried about Michael. Why is Avery not there? I think, why is Ava not there? But anyways, he said, "Yeah, we're gonna have a little lunch afterwards or whatever." And he was like, "Okay, okay, cool." So then Willow tells Michael, "Let's go. Let's get our seats. Let's go." Because Michael is making it awkward, like his hatred towards Sonny. So they leave or whatever, and Sonny and Dante talk, and Dante said, "Are you gonna stay?" And Sonny said, "I'm not letting my son run me off of here because he don't want me here. That's his problem. That don't got nothing to do with me. How someone feels about me has nothing to do with me," is what Sonny said. And so he said, "If Michael want to fix this, he know where I am." And Dante said, "I think it'd be better if you just go to Michael." And Sonny said, "No, I'm not doing that." Sonny has went to Michael. He's tried to fix this. He like, "I'm not doing that." And Dante was like, "Oh, I think it's getting worse. It's gonna get worse or whatever if you don't like try to bridge this gap or whatever." And so they go sit down. They go. Sam comes and gets Dante, and they go sit down or whatever. And so then we see Michael talking to Willow, and he gonna tell Willow, because Willow was like, "Mike," she was just like, "Michael, that was rude. Like, he didn't do anything to me." And he was just like, shoot, what Michael say? He was just being a jerk, talking about he doesn't want him around them and everything. And hold on, I'm sorry guys, I had to try to pull this up. He was just talking about how he doesn't want Sonny around Willow and everything, and and how he's not gonna leave because Willow was like, "Well, do you want to go?" And he was like, "I'm not gonna go because he's here or whatever." And so Willow was just like, I don't have time," because honestly, Michael, don't nobody have time for this. So then we see that Ned goes and sits down with Olivia and everything, and while he's doing that, Drew comes and sits beside him. Now, I already said, Drew, you came and sit beside Ned because you was trying to feel Ned out to see how he felt, how he felt about the whole thing. So they were talking or what. So Drew came in this good guy act, and now I told y'all I'm starting to like Drew, but I think also that Drew does this good guy act, but he also wants what he wants. Does that make sense? Like, he does a good guy act, like, "Oh, I'm a peacemaker. I want what I'm a peacemaker," but he also does what he wants. And then because he feels like I'm the good guy, it's like he's like, I don't understand why people get mad or whatever. So anyways, he tells Ned tells him, "I want to meet with you afterwards to talk about ELQ to you and Michael." He was like, "Yeah," and Olivia was like, "We're not going to talk business. Be quiet." I don't know why you're getting on my nerves. Be quiet. And so anyways, Leo gets up and he does his speech and everything. And after he does his speech, he was having, at first he looked like he was gonna have a hard time, but then he focused in and he let Chase be his person, and he did his speech and he did a really cute job, and they were all excited for him and everything. So then when he get done, I guess the other kids, did whatever they had to do. And so when he gets done, everybody is just like, happy. and happy and everything about everything that's went on, right? So then we see that people start dispersing, going their separate ways and everything. And Michael, excuse me, Sonny, Dante, Ned, and all them are around, and Leo is giving everyone hugs, and he comes up and he hugs Sonny and everything. And Dante comes up to Sonny, and they start talking, and he said, "Is Michael trying to do something?" And he was like, Dante said it without saying it. He was just like, you just got to be careful or whatever. He was like, and Sonny understood the warning. He was like, bet. And so then we see that Sam comes and gets Dante, so they go on about their business. And then we see that Olivia and Ned are talking, and they got balloons and stuff for Leo. He said, I want to see the balloons. And so Olivia is going to go with him to see the balloons. Excuse me. And Ned gets a phone call. He said, I got to take this phone call. Oh, but before that, Michael, Ned, and Drew talk. And they say, okay, so we decide, Michael and I were talking, and we think we want to make you COO. And he said, COO? That's administration. Like COO, that's like being a secretary. I mean, it's a position. It is a position or whatever. But all you're doing is giving feedback to the CEO. It really is like there are secretaries that can be COOs, to be honest, because they run the company. And most secretaries are the one who's really running the company as far as scheduling everything, doing all that. And he said, but what about the media? Because y'all say y'all go in media. And they said, well, we would bring somebody in to do that, but they wouldn't have a title than you. So they're doing exactly what Ned thought they were going to do. They're putting him as a figurehead in the company. He doesn't really have a position. That COO is not a real position. It's just a title. Go over here, like, and let us run this business. That's what they're doing to Ned. So then, anyways, Valentine calls Ned when he's talking to Olivia. He's like, I gotta take this. So he meets outside with Valentine, and Valentine says, so what do we gotta do so that we both get what we want? And you knew it was gonna come to that as soon as, and Drew also knew, because he said, well, that meeting went well, being sarcastic, because he know it didn't. That is not what they wanted. But anyways, that was General Hospital, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you would like. Even if you don't, it's okay. I'll still be making these videos, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day.